Hello, and welcome to another episode of Leftovers. For those of you wondering, what happened to episode 2? Why are we combining episodes 2 and 3? Well, that would be because one of our players went through the subfloor of my house, and we had to spend last weekend fixing that. But my name is Chris Mansfield. I am your DM, and I guess the host for these talks, and today I am drinking a lovely Monster Rehab, and eating some prosciutto.
Hello, I am Webb. I'm playing Rogarth. I'm drinking the Mountain Dew Code Red that I didn't finish last night during the game. And I have a breakfast bologna sandwich for food.
Oh yeah, we're not coding ourselves Southern at all. What do you have? I have a breakfast bologna sandwich.
What? It's very good. See, the dog wants it.
Right? The dog wants anything.
That is true. She got a biscuit last night.
She did. Actually, I think that was a croissant. It was something my daughter hid in the couch that she found.
Yes.
Yes, I believe that was the song.
There you go.
And my name is John. I play General, and I am drinking coffee. Blessed
You mean coffee?
You mean Kofi. I don't think he was here for that part.
Aw.
Yeah, no, you missed that.
Coffee's a thing in this world.
But only one person in the village has it. And it's Jay's dad. He calls it Kofi. You drink Kofi. It's good for you.
His wife.
What's it do? It keeps you from killing small children.
Well,
I mean, where's the lie?
Right?
and then Megan's character was sitting there asking, "When can we have it?" It's like, when you have small children, you don't want to kill.
Mm-hmm. So yes, this is a combination recap for episodes 1 and 2, because we didn't get to do one last week. Fun fact about not being a professional at all of this, your life just gets in the way and you kind of got to shuffle, jive, and make up time. So, let's start with session 1.
Okay.
What do we think of it? What do we think of our intro session?
Now, are we talking the one before we did last night, or are we talking?
Yeah, our first proper session, not session 0, episode 1.
So one we did last night. Okay.
No, not the one we did last night. Last night was episode 2.
Okay.
Webb here already letting time blur together.
I mean, session one was interesting. It was a good hook for our characters, because basically we're all children and our parents are saying, go over there where your friend is, and we don't care if they're not your friend. Go over there and help these people, because they basically feed the entire town. And it's like, okay. Now, just to put out there, we don't necessarily condone or anything for children labor, but
If you're working on a farm, I find it to be an inescapable fact.
it's going to happen. Partly because of what is the need, and partly because as the kids are growing up, they're going to be like, this is a very large mechanical object that you are using. I want to play with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you're going to play with it, you're going to be using
Like, the large-scale commercial farms, no. But if you're running a family farm, I'm sorry, reality is reality. You're going to end up doing work on that farm. Mariah, enough.
No. Mine.
John, what do you think? That was episode 1 for you. You were here for almost the entirety one of that. That was a fun change for you.
I came in partway through,
Mm-hmm.
but it worked out because, people were still getting their introductions in.
Sandwich.
That is a healthy sandwich.
That's like an inch thick bologna. He cuts it that way every single time. I told him he can make it less. He's like,
I liked what is, in my mind, was like a slow-mo intro with, Knuckles being buried into my character's face.
I am sorry that the dice don't seem to like you.
Yeah. I'm actually not. That was beautifully appropriate to what you said you wanted your character to be and become.
Yeah, I couldn't
And that was completely decided by dice roll, and I love that.
So the dice have heard and the dice have provided.
The dice currently agree with John's story,
Yeah.
All right.
which was very nice. The town. What are our thoughts on what we've seen in the town? Kind of how it works, the who's, your parents.
For the first session, it was more of the introduction of the different people. I think in this second session, we've seen more of the interaction, so we can have more of a proper evaluation. There's still a lot of things in my head that aren't fleshed out because we've covered some key places, and even last night we were talking about, well, where do you live? What part of town do you live? But I'm sure the town actually has more. We just haven't, as a party, or even as a group of players and Game Master, flesh that out. We're like staying here, and it's like the video games where the map is there, but it's darkened out.
Yeah, you're very much stuck in this section of the story at the moment. You haven't gotten through the memory walls yet.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a decent idea of how this town's built. I have a slightly better idea of how the surrounding area is built and, things like that. But I fill in a lot of, details. Yeah. Not even map. Like, okay, this is here, this is here, this is here. But, like, the details of it's like, oh, this is this family's farm, and this is what they grow, and da-da-da. Those get filled in the moment. Because I don't... Part of it is laziness. I don't want to do a bunch of work that isn't going to do anything for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like... I read a game once where I really dug into, in my head, here's how the religious system works, here's how the political system works, and nobody was a cleric, nobody put any skill points into religion, and nobody bothered with politics. So it's like, oh, cool.
I completely
Cool.
It's not going to be utilized unless I utilize it and force the issue.
Yeah. I find that, and I've heard this several times from other game masters too, your first session you do a lot of prep work, and after that you're just taking notes very meticulously.
Mm-hmm.
And then your last few sessions you do a lot of prep work for. Everything else you kind of need a vague structure, and you're painting the set 5 steps ahead of them. That's it.
And unfortunately for you, since you are effective at doing that, that is part of the reason why you stay as the game master.
I am a forever DM. But at the same time,
I think
I kind of like
stories.
Yeah, I really do kind of like it. Especially with the way I've started doing things now, where it's less about the story itself and more about the characters. Like, hey, I'm just going to structure everything around my players. The world will be interesting because they're interested.
Wow. If we actually make them interesting. There have been instances where we're not interesting.
But that means you're not interested in the character, and there's nothing I can do to make you interested in a character.
And I noticed it a bit in the first setting, but definitely last night. I am actually having an easier time role playing. I was having an easier time just letting that dialogue and stuff roll through, and I understood after I thought about it a second the reason why you didn't want me to do a persuasion roll last night, because I don't have anything in that. I have to build up that repertoire, and it's also forcing me to do more role play.
So that's definitely a part of it. The other thing was that especially during this part, I don't want as much rolling. Partly because you all are rolling with massive disadvantages. Like all of you have negative stats.
Mm-hmm.
Negative. I think my lowest is -2.
But at the same time, your children, everything is an uphill battle if you choose to make it one.
Yeah.
But you also don't have huge stakes. And as stakes get added on, roles can become more important. But right now, it really is settle into the mindset of child.
Yeah.
Child. Shoot him?
Nothing.
Shoot him?
I think I hit that correctly last night with I have teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a 4-year-old dragonborn.
Yeah, like just this 4-year-old kid walking in, I got teeth!
And I fought a 12-year-old.
And there's someone else's.
And I fought a 12-year-old.
Yeah. And, normal parents, utterly horrified. Freaking half-orc former adventurer? No, it's like, yes!
Although I am interested because we haven't seen my mother yet.
Nope.
I'm wondering if it's like you haven't figured out how you want to put her in the scene.
So,
Or the
I've shown both of very few people's parents. Like, John and Megan's got both their parents from the outset because they're playing part of the same family. So what I've been trying to do initially is, hey, here's the parent you connect with most first.
Yeah.
So for you, that's obviously your father, Krusk. For John, I pretty much figured out his dad was going to be his thing. For Megan, it was her mom.
I don't know. I think I could go well with my mother too.
You could, especially once I intro her, but I didn't want to bombard people with a ton of NPCs right off, because then it becomes a very hard thing to keep track of. Even for me, knowing like, okay, I have this, 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 like I've got my little notes.
Which is also why we have the extra NPCs, but we haven't really covered them like yesterday when we had all the extra kids.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't even covered those kids.
No.
Or their parents, or you have the extra farmhands for Mr. Gradstone, and it's like, well,
And
they're farmhands, they're NPCs. Do you want to flesh them out or not?
exactly, it's like, hey, are you actually going to interact with these people? Because if so, I'll add some more color and some more detail to them. But if you're not, I'm not going to tie us down.
Right.
I'm not going to do the Stephen King thing where I need 7 paragraphs to describe how creepy a door is.
Right.
It's like Granny Mags got a fairly fleshed out thing because she's the town ghost story. She's the thing you children are meant to be kind of scared of, kind of intrigued by.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, hey,
I think I missed that part, by the way.
you did. You did miss our intro of Granny Mags, the town ghost story. She's just an ancient woman who lives out in the woods, is dressed in patchwork clothing, and all the kids call her Granny Rags.
Sounds very much like Grandma Weatherwax from Terry Pratchett kind of stuff.
Definitely pulled some inspiration from her, at least with regards to her personality.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just looked at a bunch of old witch stories and small town horror stories and stuff like that. And then you look at fairy tales like, oh yeah, Mother Gothel out in the fucking woods somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's got all the rumors flying about her. Oh, she's a witch. She eats children. She turns people into trees.
Mm-hmm. Or wolves.
Yeah, she raises wolves and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Dozens of conflicting accounts. Oh, she's over 2,000 years old.
And even in that moment when you told us that the children call her Granny Rags,
Mm-hmm.
even thinking about that from my perspective and from my character's perspective, it's not calling her Granny Rags. He's going to try to call her Granny Mag because it's a respectful thing, and the way that he's been brought up in my head with his father is, you're going to be nice to people. Some people will accept it. Some people aren't going to accept it. And the ones that don't accept it, that's fine. But the ones that have an issue with it and try to attack you, well, that's just fair game.
Yeah. And it's like Matt's character tried to be very respectful, but was still that kid of, this is the name I hear all the time, is Granny Rag. Oops.
Yeah. Rat Mags. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. That was one of the reasons I really pushed for Matt to be in the campaign, because he commits to the he commits to the bit.
Mm-hmm.
He really does. Like, he will Gesundheit. He will bite into that thing, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, she got a bit more color, and Topo got a bit more cover. He's the big thing in y'all's lives. He's the town bully. He's the terror of your childhood.
Kind of like the arch nemesis.
Yeah, he's the bully on the playground, which is every kid's arch nemesis.
But again, lower stakes.
Exactly. It's like, hey, I'm not going to make you all roll for this fight. It's a brawl. Y'all are going to lose because you're outnumbered and they're older and bigger than you.
Yeah.
But sure, you all got some hits in.
I got teeth.
Y'all knocked out 4 of his damn teeth. Those are his adult teeth. He's just going to be
healing potions. I'll put them back.
Maybe, yeah, if his dad could afford them. But otherwise, this guy's just going to go through life missing 4 teeth.
Well, it's his fault.
Exactly. You got a little bit more color on people in session 2 because you already had stuff in session 1, and you can kind of piecemeal it out. It's like, hey, here's this. Here's this.
And the fact that he went and clocked Megan's character.
Oh yeah, it's like, I full on punched her in the head.
Like, she's sitting there biting him, and he's sitting there like,
No, she didn't bite him. She bit his Lieutenant Marcus, like a little weasel boy.
If you want to call that string pole a lieutenant, but okay.
I mean, it's essentially the function he serves. He's his lick spittle.
Yeah.
That is actually how I made a note of him.
Lick spittle? Yeah.
Yeah.
I put string pole, not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, he is the ratty little thing that attaches themselves to power because it keeps the power from beating them up.
True.
Like, there are 2 ways you deal with someone like that. You stand up to them, either by refusing to acknowledge them or by actually standing up to them, or you join them. Those are the only 2 options you have when you're a child.
Especially as a kid, yeah.
I guess the third option is you just run away, but that's really just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, you're going to have to make that choice.
Sticks and stones may break my bones. Thanks for the advice.
And we prove that.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Good, I know not to taunt you now. I'm just going to beat you with sticks and stones.
I learned that one last night, too.
Yeah, right?
I did learn that one last night, because nobody...
Marcus learned that one last night, too. Shannon just no hesitation from Shannon or Megan. It's like, cool, we're just going to beat the crap out of this kid. Like, especially Shannon, I'm going to throw a rock at his head. What? Yeah.
I got rocks in the hand. He's trying to
and Megan just like, I'm going to fight him. Like, cool. And I love it, because kids don't fight with rules.
I mean...
No, it's whatever impulse comes into their head, and then they realize they can hurt each other, and it's like, oh.
We got to put guidelines for this.
I remember vividly the first time I actually punched somebody when I was younger. Like, do you all remember the first actual punch you did? Where it wasn't just like that push or that shove or that kind of like
vaguely swing your arm.
Yeah, but like actually haul off and put power behind it. Like, oh, I get why we don't do this.
I gotta think about that. Hold on a minute.
That was done in a martial arts session, so yeah. I learned how to throw a punch when I learned how to throw a punch.
For me, it was a guy had kicked my dog in the stomach. I think I was like 5, maybe 6.
Well, that'll do it.
And they like been talking to me, and the kid just came up and like full on like driving a field goal, kicked my dog in the stomach. And I just hauled off and punched him in the head as hard as I could. And he just dropped. And I just looked at my hand for a second like, oh. That's why we don't do this.
That's what that button does.
It's like, that's what the red button does. Okay.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't push that too often. And then his, cousin broke into my house like a week later and stole my PlayStation 2. That's revenge.
Oh, I have a hard time remembering the first time I actually...
I have a hard time remembering, for legal reasons, the first time I hit somebody.
No.
Because they didn't get back up.
No, it's not.
Just kill the guy.
It's not that. I don't remember... When I was younger, I don't remember hauling off and hitting someone. I remember my sisters picking on me, and both of them having me on the floor on my back, and them basically on top of me, banging my cheeks together with their knees.
Oh yeah.
Me. And then I got mad, and with both of them on me, weighing at like 60 pounds, and them together weighing about 120. Getting up.
Yeah.
So,
I love the burst of strength moment in life where it's like, I hold back so much and I didn't even realize.
Ever notice how the laughter just takes it all away?
Oh yeah, it does. It becomes like this thing of your brain just going, we need to come down from this. Switch to a different track. Laugh track. Go.
It's like you can be absolutely furious, and you could be pulling in on that strength and everything, and you can just go. But the moment somebody makes you break and laugh, it's gone.
Oh yeah, no. Your brain just goes, what the fuck were we doing? We're not supposed to murder our own species. I thought we'd put blocks in for this.
We did. Laughter.
So turns out in patch 3, we may have made a slight error.
But no,
have we patched that out? Let's go with yes. Let's go with yes for now.
I think the first true punches I've thrown were after you and I, met, and we were saying
like we were actually sparring, and
it's still in a controlled manner, but yeah.
Yeah. God, I remember, like, for those listening, I have known Webb for slightly more than half my life now, I think. Like, we met in my second freshman year of high school, and have just carried on from there, and I'm nearly in my 40s.
I turned 39 this year.
Yeah. I remember when we went to, like, that family day at my mom's plant.
Yeah.
And we brought the kendo sticks, and people, it's like, oh, that's really, oh my God.
They're using them.
Yeah, like, I think, I can still see where I broke your knuckles, like, on that hand.
Yeah, maybe.
Just because, like, they are different from your other knuckles.
I actually get questions if I'm a fighter because of the way...
Yeah, no, like, Webb's hands are permanently slightly malformed because of me.
No, they're not malformed. They just got extra.
Yeah, they're like well calloused. The knuckles. But that's
which also adds to like an aura of he walks like that because he's got problems. But look at the knuckles. Do we want to deal with them?
Right? But like, and for those of you who think we're just on a tangent right now, we are. But it does actually kind of relate because, yeah, that's kid stuff. That is the generation we grew up in where.
Or where we do 2 weeks worth of work in 20 minutes at your mom's place.
Yeah, but it's like, when we grew up, we were mostly unsupervised as children.
Yes.
Because it was okay to be to one degree or another, because you didn't snatch one kid from a group of 15, because the other 14 were going to have massively different reactions. 3 were going to run, 2 were going to scream. The rest were just going to rush you. Like,
I mean, I remember
Gazootech.
before I came here, living in Tennessee, we would ride our bikes down to the library from the house, and it was about 3 miles.
Yeah.
You go out all day and then come back.
Yeah, you just had to be back when the streetlights came on.
Before the streetlights came on.
I got some leniency because I was very much a latchkey kid, where it was like, hey, be home when they come on. I had to be there at the time.
Exactly.
Or like that, because you're a latchkey kid, sometimes you have to break into your own house because you forgot the key.
So I never had to break into my own house because I refused to lock our garage.
Oh, okay.
Because being dumb, I didn't understand why I would need to do that. Who checks the garage door?
Yeah.
Other than the people who see me going in and out of it all fucking day. Gee, guess how my house got broken into and my PlayStation got stolen?
Gotta be the back door.
Totally was.
Window
For like a
side.
year, I didn't lock our back door because my logic was, well, there's a fence. Not thinking it's a chain link fence. It wasn't like a wood slat and privacy fence or anything.
It was
It-
actually chain link.
Yeah, it was an actual chain link fence that I climbed over all the time, and the logic that
logic
you
never-
could get back in from the other side just never occurred to
Which
me.
affects being kid thinking. I do this, and this is fine. There's not something on the other side of that.
Yeah, like the idea of consequences hasn't really built in. And I love that you all are kind of exploring that in these characters, because you all do have consequences as children, because you're growing up in a very different time. You have actual responsibilities because you live in a farming village. Like, hey, guess what, guys? If we all don't help out, we starve to death in the winter.
I mean, yeah,
Or wolves come and take us in the night.
only for bad children. That's what the stories are.
Oh yeah, your parents have absolutely scared you with stories of Granny Mags coming to take you in the night, or them just giving you to her. Like, if you don't behave, I will give you to Granny Mags, and she'll turn you into a tree, and then a woodcutter will come.
I'm gonna become tax forms.
So, getting back on track, who's our favorite NPC so far? John, you've said next to nothing this episode.
I feel like my favorite is character name. Levik's mother.
Yeah, that very Ringu moment with Levik's mom, where it's just like, someone hurt my baby. It's like that horror movie, like
Yes.
skip frame skitter movement.
What is his mother? Is his mother human? Or?
No, his mother's a gnome. Like, both of his parents are gnomes.
Oh, so he's straight no.
Yeah. So imagine a 3.5 foot tall woman just kind of like Japanese horror moving her way towards you on all fours. Just
I'm sure he got a cold ball.
like, oh, that's some Slender Man shit. I'm the fuck out of here. Why? I can swing with all my might. She barely has to duck.
I don't think she would feel it right now.
She'll just grab on to the bat.
And then when I'm coming back up to my face.
She's just gonna be there. You hit my baby!
By the way, I'm an alchemist. Oh no.
That's the other terrifying thing is, when you die, they're gonna ask her to figure out how you died. Was he poisoned? No! He was taken by Sylvanus.
No, he was chosen.
What a great to call it.
So for you, it's Levik's mom. Is there a particular reason, or is it just the way she was played last session?
Oh, it was just that. It was
Just like that cemented her. All right, Webb, how about you?
Let's see. Honestly, and this probably seems biased, I'm liking my own father.
I figured you'd like Krusk. Um, Honestly, I'm surprised no one said Jay's dad. Just because, like, he has been one of my favorite to play so far, just because he is very just, this is happening now.
I did.
He is up there.
Yeah, he's, like, I wanted the guy who is completely unflappable by anything that's happening in life right now. It's like, does it affect the harvest? Are they trying to kill my wife or child? He's fun.
But he was last time because it's like you have cleared the Northfield. Yeah, you've cleared the Northfield.
Like this, you're not lying to me. If you lie to me, bad thing happen.
It's like no, it's clear.
I'm going to go look.
Yeah.
Because it's that thing, like when a child tells you something completely unbelievable, it's like, oh yeah, sure. I cleaned my room. Oh wow, then you just open the closet and wait for everything to fall out. Now imagine you opened that closet and nothing fell out. It's like, I need a second to readjust to reality here, because I'd known what was going to happen, and
It's like-
then I turned the page and it didn't.
Okay.
It's that moment when you think you have one more step to go on the stairs and you bring your foot
Yep.
down extra hard.
I do that.
It's like, this shouldn't affect me. I'm still on the ground. Yes, but you're still trying to push.
Trying to airwalk. You haven't trained that yet.
Well, no, it's not even like the thing where you try and go up another step. I'm talking about when you think you have another step going down,
Oh yeah.
and you're just trying to push through the ground. Your body goes, dude, there's nothing here. I don't know what you think you're doing.
My reality, my rules.
Yeah. So what's our prediction for the next few sessions here? What do we think's about to happen? Like, we know what Matt's prediction is. He's said it all last night. It's like, this whole town's gonna fucking burn next session. Like, during the festival, the town's gonna burn down.
I mean, it's convenient and story hooky and traumatizing.
I mean, yeah. Intellectually, all of us know some tragedy is coming for your characters.
Well,
Yeah.
tragedy or something. to
Yeah,
set
like
something
a
right.
key event is coming for your characters. It
Doesn't
has
necessarily
to.
have to be tragedy.
Yes, there will
but-
be conflict.
Yeah. But
Oh,
when do we think it's coming? How do we think it's coming?
I don't know, John. What do you?
Something could happen during this harvest festival that is huge. I'm not going to discount that, but I don't think the day-to-day life-altering event is going to happen during this festival. I'm thinking it might be a setup or a lead-in or some foreshadowing.
For those of you wondering what that sound was, I've now cracked a seltzer because I like seltzer.
But I think
Liquid Death sponsors.
it's going to just be more of a lead-up event during this Harvest Festival, more than a
So you think that the Harvest Festival is going to be the setup for what's coming, the layup, as it were.
The trebuchet is going to be loaded, not fired.
So what do you think the key event is going to end up being?
I think maybe when we're older, we might get conscripted into some sort of conflict, or a conflict is going to come to our village, probably from one of the neighboring theodoms.
Yeah, best name.
Yeah.
Theocracies.
Mhm.
Fancy dance.
Likely the some contingent from the land of the dead.
Something from the Deadlands is going to come.
Yes.
All right. Well,
And like John says, I can't discount what Matt's saying, but at the same time, it seems too soon. Like, it would be the third. It would be the third, and it also depends on how long we're planning to have this campaign run. But as like the third session, it does seem a little too soon.
To have that key event happen that really
Yeah.
sets you all on the path.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because we're still trying to figure out how we are now.
Mhm.
And then for that kind of key event, I could only see if it happens during the festival like that, I could only see we do that session. The next session we have like an after events kind of wrap up thing, and then go into like a time skip because that's what makes sense.
Yeah.
But that leaves the whole that kind of leaves the whole
It leaves the childhood
Starting from the
arc kind of
childhood-
unsatisfying.
unsatisfied and disconjointed, which was part of the whole reason of starting at the child to get the understanding of the character from that perspective going up through. So while I don't discount it, maybe a festival further down the line.
See, you're with John. It's like something's going to happen. Like the festival's going to set something up,
Yeah.
but whether it's this festival that becomes the key moment or another festival,
Or it might be the festival goes completely normal, and after the festival something happens.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think with us being 6-year-olds, it's a bit soon for the call to adventure.
Yeah.
okay,
Let's see. I also, from what we understand, there hasn't been any type of new rumors or anything of the.
yeah. The only rumor you've got around town is the local feud is kicking back up again because two people were caught holding hands.
Now,
Yeah.
now there might
I
be
think
something.
there might be something that happens with that.
Yeah, there might be something that happens at the festival with that, and then the two farms go against each other and that kind of stuff. And
Which, to be clear, in a farming village is not a small thing, especially not one this tight knit.
Yes, but that would be a source of internal conflict for our home, not an external factor coming in. So I think that's more likely at this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or it could cause some type of mystery occurrence within those two farms that gets thrown about as part of the rumor mill. But we would still be too young to really do anything for that. That would be back on our parents. And then
Unless we want to Nancy Drew Hardy voice that shit. We could absolutely.
we could get totally curious and be like, I need to go find out what this is.
Yeah.
Which would potentially get us in far more trouble.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the real debate I'm hearing from you two is whether or not adventure finds you or you find adventure next session.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
That's fair. I like. So something's already shaping up in this campaign that has not been the norm for our campaigns, which is people actively seeking things out rather than just waiting for it to be kind of handed to them. And I completely blame the amount of ownership you already have over your characters.
Megan also seems to be much more happy with her new character.
I loved that genuine moment of childhood from her where, like, no matter what, she was going home until it was going to be she's going home alone.
Yeah.
That it's like, no, after everything that just happened, that's not what she wants. So she's going to go to the forge, she's going to get dry clothes, and then she's going to go.
Which I was totally with. In my mind, I take her home and then I go to the forge. And
Mhm.
in my mind, I'm carrying her and I'm just booking it.
Yeah. So seeing Matt's mom like forging a proper weapon of battle, not like the iron swords that are just kind of around. What did do we think that's going to be significant in some way, or is that just a little breadcrumb I dropped just to have it there?
To be honest, that was about the time when I was entering the room. So, I only really caught the tail end of that. But, yeah, I could see that being a thing where... That depends on if it's latched on to. Because, like, now this is a proper weapon, or maybe it was actually +1, or something like that.
Like, this is a proper steel sword instead of, like, the iron axes and things like that are typically made.
I can see where there has the potential, because number one, Matt's mother was sought out to make this blade, which goes back to Matt's mother's history as a person and potentially a smith/adventurer. And her having that knowledge goes probably back to the dwarven line. And it could be an adventurer wants it. It could be somebody wants it as a ceremonial piece, but it'd be kind of a waste. And I would think that as a dwarf, if you're putting in all that extra effort, you're not going to be forging a sword.
Yeah, this is not something to hang up on the wall.
What you're going to do. Oh, now you look like a pretty centralized piece.
Yeah.
It could be something for, like, a captain of a guard within our area.
Could be commissioned by the Six-Fingered Man.
He's going to kill someone's father. We don't.
And there we have what's going to be the central conflict, is you all are going to be hunting down Matt's mother's killer.
I mean...
Surprise, everybody! This is a Princess Bride origin story.
I am the Brute Squad. I mean...
Jay's going to be playing Fezzik. Who gets to be the Dread Pirate Roberts?
Honestly, I feel like at this point, it's a toss-up between Rogarth
or
Renusk and Rogarth, yeah.
Well, Renusk is clearly going to... Yeah, Renusk is clearly going to be Fezzik. Like, there's...
we have two giants, basically.
Very true.
Yeah, we have two giants.
I'm not gonna lie, I was genuinely hoping someone would play like a monstrous race or like a Goliath or something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the tieflings in the party, because, yeah, in a highly religious society, that's
You're the devil.
That's a point of fucking contention. Like, and that's what you wanted was the, hey, do you get the allegory yet?
Yeah. We are the demon children.
But I also really would have loved to have someone who, for all intents and like a Goliath, for all intents and purposes, looks human. They're just fucking massive. It's like
It's huge.
Yeah,
It's a huge freaking guy.
I'm a 4-year-old Goliath. I'm a
4-year-old Goliath who, at 4 years old, is probably the size of a full-grown man, and is undoubtedly mistaken for that very often. Because
does his voice change, or does he stay high pitched?
it would probably still be like a very childish voice.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love is people inevitably, when we see something we immediately categorize it. It's a survival trait for us. And when something doesn't fit that categorization, we immediately get very upset about it.
Yeah.
Like, I was a very small child until the exact moment I wasn't. Like, I did all of my growing pretty much at once. I went from la 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 to oi in like the span of half a year.
You did the anime makeover.
Yeah, I really freaking did. Like, all of my growing happened in like a 6-month period, and I have the scars to prove it. But like, it it completely changed the way people view you. People,
Treat you.
yeah. So that is another thing about if this pop-off event happens when you all are so young,
Mhm.
like mentally you will have to mature very quickly, but physically everyone's still going to look at you a very specific way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and there's gonna be trouble back and forth with that. It's gonna be a lot of internal, and it's gonna be a lot of trying to cope with it, trying to figure out what to do to cope with it, trying to figure out where we're going to go. But we don't even really get to make all those choices because our parents
That's
are going to be
life.
telling
Yeah,
us.
you are in very unique positions as players where your decision-making ability is incredibly hindered, which is a thing I don't think any of you are actually used to. Like, no, I can do whatever the hell I want. I physically am adult playing an adult. Well, it's like, I'm going to go do this. Your parents aren't going to let you. Well, fuck. Oh, wait, I'm 4. This person is 4.
Yeah.
If my parents don't want me to do something, it's very much within their power because the only thing they have to do is pick me up, and now I can't.
I thought that was nice.
It's like, you've seen. I'm not naming my daughter on this, but when my daughter, decides I'm going to go somewhere and keeps trying to do it after she's been told no, my key solution is just cool, air jail,
Yeah.
and you no longer make contact with the ground. You will not have any forward momentum unless I give it to you.
And you have effectively ended her world, thwarted her plan. Now everything sucks.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I love the idea of that happening in the campaign where one of you gets a wild hair up your ass. It's like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna go. No, you're not.
Well, we also saw like a little preview of that last night when Matt was talking to his mom
Oh yeah,
with the whole. He's trying to use logic,
yeah,
and he's doing a good job of making it kid level logic.
yep.
Um,
And then adult logic kicks in. It's like I should just back down. What do you do when you're losing that fight? I surrender. And like we also saw a little microcosm of it when Levick was running, and your characters kind of strode up to him and picked him up off the ground because Levick is a foot tall.
this way.
Like he is I want to say he's 5. I think Levick's 5.
I think Levick did say it was 5.
Yeah, he's a 5-year-old gnome.
Oh, 6-year-old.
Oh yeah, okay, he's a 6-year-old gnome.
Okay, he's a foot and 2 inches.
Yeah, he's like at most a foot and a quarter. It's just like, hi, I'm half dragonborn and a quarter orc. It's up.
Yeah.
It's
Because
It's not
It's
even
like
a strength check.
you weren't living here at the
Rovarth
time.
is at least 4 feet tall.
Yeah,
4 foot 3, yeah.
you were like John. You weren't living here at the time, but there was when Megan was working at the mill, she brought this small kitten home because it was just like really sickly and everything. And she's got it wrapped in the shirt, and she's like, "I really got to go to bed." It's like, "Yeah, fine, just leave it with me."
Mhm.
And I pick it up, and it sounds like it's sneezing and coughing. No, it's hissing at me,
Oh.
and it's wrapped in one of my sweatshirts. And I'm just like holding it up by one hand. I could have held this with 2 fingers. Like, you're adorable. Stop.
I like the energy. You don't have it.
Like, the breakfast you interrupted me from eating is bigger than you. Please let that thought sink in. You are not a threat. You are a prelude to a meal. You are not even the full meal. You are the toast. But yeah, like the idea of that is thoroughly amusing to me. So does anyone have an idea which way they are leaning with regards to classes? Like, given the interactions you've had so far, do we have ideas where we're going to go with it? Are we still kind of seeing how things are about to flow? Because, like, you've got some stats now, so you kind of got an idea.
I mean, not really on stats because we're still using the same stats that we had on the first.
Yeah.
But we haven't added anything in for those yet.
No, you'll get another D6 eventually. And then eventually you'll get your third one when you
When we
actually...
turn 5.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one at a time.
Yep. And I like the idea of that because it is incremental growth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the D6, is that going to be the hit points or is that going to be the stats?
Oh no, you'll get an extra D6 for each stat. I'll have you roll, your D6s again. It's like, cool. Add those in.
Instead of 3d6s, we get a d6 in 3
In
increments.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll gain a few more hit points, but until you get a proper class level, you won't get a hit die.
But then the question becomes, when do the racial bonuses kick in?
So those will kick in about the same time I'll give you your third D6, because at that point you've reached physical maturity. So those, that's the way I'm looking at those stat bonuses and a lot of those racial features, is those are things, Gesundheit, that happen as your body physically matures. Like, I may give you a few of your racial features before then. I may decide, hey, pick one of these, you get it now.
Right.
Like, during the
dark vision.
yeah, like you got that from birth, because that's literally, hey, your eyes have a different structure. Makes perfect sense to me that you would kind of start with those eyes. It's not like your teeth; they're not going to fall out and new ones are going to come in. By the way, how fucking horrifying would that be?
Oh,
if that was a part of your maturity. It's like, and all right, so just oh my god, like fantasy pediatrician. All right, so Renusk is developing really well, or Rogarth is developing really well. I don't see any real molting of his scales. His baby teeth are about to come out probably in the next 2 weeks or so. And probably a week after that, his eyes will fall out, and his adult ones will come in over the course of a month. Like, what? I'm sorry. Repeat that entire
And you fall down, and your eyeball just falls out.
Your eyes are just there on the ground.
I'd be like, dude, are you okay? No, they'll grow back.
Yeah, it's fine. They'll grow back. Someone just put me in a corner for a week and a half.
Right? Alright, we're sending him home for the day. His eyes are coming back in.
Be sure he doesn't pick at them. He'll be blind for life.
Macular degeneration of the eyes.
Stop playing with him, you'll go blind.
Don't play with it. You'll go blind like your cousin. No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Oh, no.
His claws grew in at the same time.
Is that what happens to Uchiha?
Oh my god, it's that old pirate joke. First day with my hook. But, I think about stuff like that so often. It's like, fantasy puberty has to be a fucking horror show.
Right.
I know you and I have both read that comic. Did you ever read the DC comic where Harley Quinn finds out Black Canary's pregnant?
I did, and she was giving her the muzzle.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not muzzling my child. It's like, when you scream, terrible things happen. Children scream a lot. Give me the muzzle.
Right?
And yeah, it's like, imagine fucking trying to raise that shit. It's like,
You think childhood is bad now for the parents?
So she's throwing a bit of a tantrum. We need to raise the premiums on our home insurance.
I don't understand how, Black Bolt survived to...
So that's actually there's a reason for it, and because Inhumans aren't born with their powers. They have to undergo Terrigenesis.
Yeah, okay.
They don't even pop powers. They have to go through an entire ritual to get them.
Most of my knowledge from that is from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So, in the comics, they have to undergo what's called Terrigenesis.
Yeah, they do in the show, too.
Yeah, but it's not like a popped power. You had to go through this process, and then you came out with them, and you have to figure it out from there, which is its own fucking horrible thing.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them is called the Face of Terror, where if you see his face, you just die. That's what he got.
Wow, your life sucks.
So he has to wear like a freaking gimp mask all the time,
So that's where Rorschach came from. Got it.
right? Like,
Or
hey,
was
we
the
have no
question-
idea. Like, we have no idea what's coming out of that chamber at all. But it's gonna have powers, so let's just get ready to shuffle and jive with that shit. Hey, look, there's my son.
Okay. No.
Well, I'm an orphan now. Somebody help! Oh God, everyone in this room's dead. Because no, if someone drops, you look at the drop person, and then you look at the thing nearest to them. That is just basic instinct.
Yeah.
Like, huh? And the worst part about that is the way Teragenesis works is the vapors figure out what is needed most in the next generation, and that's what they turn you into. Which means the next generation just needed someone who the sight of them murdered you really badly. Either that, or they just decided you need to not have kids. How do we do that? Well, we could make you sterile, but that just seems mean.
We want to traumatize
You know what we'll do? We'll make it to where literally no one can look at you. This seems like the more humane way.
I don't think Medusa
No, it's-
felt that way.
Well, you know,
Nature.
this dog is incredibly sick. We could just give it this injection. It's half a second of pain from the needle going in, and then they just go to sleep. Or, I bought this brick. Like, what the hell? That was someone desperately working through their issues from when they had when they went through puberty and broke out really badly. Proactive just did not work for them.
Oh, I mean, in a very real way, it's just like, you know, puberty sucks. Wouldn't it be great if you could just, I don't know, become encased in stone, and then when you came out, it was just all done?
Like a cocoon?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, and it only takes a day.
Mm-hmm.
All of puberty in a day, which, once more, I did all of my growing in 6 months, and I have permanent scars from that shit.
Yeah.
Because of things.
Stretch marks.
Yeah. Like, it was truly painful. I can't imagine the pain of doing it all at once over the course of a day, because I put on, like, 2 feet of height and about 4 inches of width. Imagine that occurring to you in a 24-hour period.
Okay,
Like,
who's the
I would-
lycanthrope we can
I
ask
would
them?
never stop screaming,
Who's the lycanthrope in the town we can ask them?
right? It's
Lycanthrope
there was
full
that
moon, it's painful.
it's like when Tony got the extremis virus. The way that is described in the comics is all of his skin splits open at the same time, and he's encased in a full body scab for a week
Mm.
that paralyzes him so he doesn't break all of his own bones. No! It's like, well, afterwards he has the ability to control technology with his mind. Not fucking worth it. Not worth it in any way. Nah, fuck all that.
And in the Mistborn series, there's a race of beings that essentially grow faster on the inside than they do the outside.
So that's a genuine medical thing that can happen to you during puberty. Like, you can experience what's it called? Extreme calcification or something like that. Basically, your bones grow faster than the support structure within them and faster than anything else in your body. So there is a chance your finger bones and stuff just rip themselves out of the skin and then break
Yeah.
from the air pressure.
With these, like the largest ones and therefore the oldest ones, their skin will just be split.
Mhm.
Mainly around their eyes and mouth and things like that. Like, it'll be hanging off and flabby because their musculature just developed too fast.
I'll say, who was that? Muscular, I think it was, from My Hero.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
his power was that he suddenly just added on a ton of muscle mass, and
Yeah,
it would
you
grow
grow
out of his
muscle.
skin.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's
Yeah, muscle on the outside, nothing. Mm-mm.
like, I've been cut down to the muscle before. No, no, I don't want I don't want the muscle on the outside. It's supposed to be on the inside, under the skin, that's designed to like be hit with stuff and touched.
Yeah.
But like, really thinking about like fantasy puberty and shit. There is no race in which that is not utterly fucking horrifying.
Well, except
If it's,
human.
I mean, but that's not even like fantasy puberty. They go through normal puberty, unless it's like you're a sorcerer, you'll gain your sorceress bloodline and stuff like that. It's like, oh no,
Why does my 12-year-old have the ability to wild cast fireball? They're not
Right,
supposed to
like-
have that yet.
No, actually, yeah, the tieflings. Just by being themselves. Like, Hellish Rebuke.
yeah.
That is an ability that when you are attacked, you can lash back with fire.
Like, imagine being born with that instead of like developing it later. Up, time to spank the children.
Yeah.
Ah!
Like, yeah, you're telling your daughter not to do something. She keeps trying to do it. You pick her up. She sets you on fire a little bit.
But and I love that, just a little bit. You're just a little bit on fire.
Right? Yeah.
Well, see, that's why yesterday I even asked, like, okay, what other things does...
And that's why I told you none of them.
Right.
Because like being able to breathe fire as a toddler,
Right.
or in your case, acid.
Yeah.
It's like, no, son, I'm
Yeah,
good.
no attack yet. Nothing.
Because what I thought of, if I have it, but it's at a very low degree, because it's just the biology of the character, maybe my saliva has the acid in there.
Oh, he
No,
spit
because
up- he
kids
spit
drool
up again.
everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, he spit up again. Time for a new floor.
It's. I genuinely look at some of these adaptations we get in, like, fantasy and stuff, like, the xenomorph is such a stupid fucking organism. So we can breed using these eggs from any species. Okay, that's actually really cool. Yeah, we developed another organism that implants this embryo in them, and then eventually it bursts its way out of their chest.
That's terrifying.
So why do we have a whole nother organism to do that? Why don't they just develop in the egg? Because why do we have the queen that lays eggs that creates the organism that actually is responsible for our breeding?
Internals made of acid?
And that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, all of our blood is acid, and fun
No,
fact.
that just comes from the human aspect because our blood is actually acidic.
But that's the thing. Like, even
They
the
just turned it up to 11.
But even the xenomorphs that, like, in the original Alien, you have the xenomorph that was, like, created from a dog,
Mhm.
and his blood is acidic. So it's just a concept of the creature, regardless of the base race. And it's like, depending on which one you follow, either they are immune to it, or they're not. Like, so your internal organs are great, but I think it's in, like, Alien Resurrection, which is the one where, like, they clone Ripley and you get all the different versions of the xenomorphs, and they're trying to... That's like Alien Resurrection.
Resurrection, yeah.
Like, they escape by, like, murdering one of the other aliens in containment, just using him to melt through the floor,
Yeah.
but you actively see his flesh dissolving from it?
I don't remember that one being hurt by the acid. I do
Like,
remember
yeah,
the Predator taking the finger and
And yeah, it's like,
acid etching his own forehead.
yeah, and that's
Different
fine.
Species. Yeah.
But, like, in that one, you see the xenomorph dissolving from its own acid, which means in that particular version of the media, they're not immune to that shit. Like, wait, what?
Well, I
You
wonder-
have a highly caustic acid inside your body.
Well, I wonder if it's just like how we are, because if we get our stomach acid on something, it's going to dissolve it. But it's in our stomach and we have a lining.
Yeah, that's our stomach for digestion. This is just all of their humerus vitae. This is all of their internal juices are sick. Like, this does not serve a purpose in evolution.
No wonder they want to hunt and such. They're so
Like,
angry.
yeah, it's gotta be like just the worst feeling of constant heartburn. I'd be pissed off all the time too.
Like, I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work for this one because of the variation I took for the Dragonborn to get the Dark Vision. You tell me I don't have my resistances.
Yeah, yeah.
Since I don't have my resistance to my own acid, I'm kind of wondering how that's going to work.
It'll be projected from you. Like, I'm not going to make you take damage, but it means that if you get hit, like, you will in essence be resistant to your own acid, just not acid in general.
And even then, that's not immunity.
Yeah.
It's just half damage.
Well, like, if he gets hit with his own breath attack, it's not going to affect him. But, like, if you get hit with another acid thing, it's like, oh, this isn't the composition of acid that your body is immune to. This is, like, a different type of acid.
Well, resistant
Yeah.
to.
It's like, you are completely immune to hydrochloric acid. Okay, this is sulfuric. Oh, shit, no, my body didn't know this. My body didn't know this existed. It didn't know to be immune to that.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, from my experience, the more likely thing would be, yes, you're fine with your own biological acid. This is magical acid.
Yeah. But Mom said I'm magical. She lied. Also, there's no Santa Claus. Fuck you.
It's the harvest. It's the harvest season. So it's the harvest spirit.
God, my favorite thing from last session had to be the attempted lore drop to bring in the Tooth Fairy, and then the subtle implication that your dad murdered it. I heard there was someone who used to give you money for teeth. Used to be.
Oh, so that's that part. Okay.
There was. Just with, like, that complete... the complete confidence of, yeah, there was. Mm-hmm. And now, also the complete confidence that there isn't anymore. Like, this isn't I suspect this existed and then it doesn't anymore. It's like, no, it existed. No, it doesn't. Like, oh, Krusk apparently murdered the Tooth Fairy at some point in his life.
I mean, we did have a couple games and there were some fans.
That's like, I heard that very much is so my friends told me about Santa Claus. Santa Claus dead. Just with that total, I'm not saying Santa doesn't exist. I'm not saying anything like that. No, Santa's dead. I've seen the body.
His name was Old Saint Claus. He had claws.
No, I have claws. You want something from Handy Haversack?
Bag of holding handy haversack.
Right?
Yes, the late great Niklaus Kringle.
He crumpled. The late great Nicholas Crumple. You mean Crinkle? Not anymore. Alright, I think with there we're going to wrap it up. So, hey, those of you listening to this, thanks for supporting us on Patreon. It really does help a lot, even beyond like the money issue, just knowing people are willing to actually pay some form of money to listen to us rant about the game and get some insight into where our head is and what we're thinking is going on. It means the world. So thanks a lot. You've helped make this possible. And we will see you all next week.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
See ya.